Good morning, students. So today we will continue with the second part of the topic carboxylic acid and its derivatives. So let's start with it. So the second part starts with the formation of salts, that is reaction with active metals. So carboxylic acids, they react with the reactive metals, such as sodium or magnesium, to give corresponding metal carboxylate and hydrogen gas. The reaction is shown over here. So RCOOH, when reacts with sodium, it forms RCOONA, that is salt of the carboxylic acid, and releasing hydrogen. In case of the phenyl derivative also, or the aromatic compound also, the same reaction happens, and always hydrogen is released. Now let us see the reaction with bases. So carboxylic acids, they also react with bases like NaOH to form sodium carboxylate in water. Example is shown over here. Acetic acid reacts with NaOH to form sodium acetate in water. Then carboxylic acids, they also react with weak alkalis like sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate to form the respective sodium carboxylate, carbon dioxide in water. So with sodium carbonate, the reaction is RCONA gives plus carbon dioxide in H2O, and similarly, the similar reaction happens with sodium bicarbonate also. Now, this reaction is very important because it serves as a test to distinguish carboxylic acid and other acidic organic compounds. Because other acidic organic compounds, like for example phenol, it doesn't react with sodium bicarbonate, so there is no reaction. Whereas if it is a carboxylic acid, it will release carbon dioxide, so there will be brisk effervescence. These are the general reactions of phenol as well as carboxylic acid. So in ether, the aqueous, with reaction with aqueous NaOH, the alcohol, it distills, and then this is a method. Basically, this is a method of separation of carboxylic acid from phenol or alcohol. So what will happen if it is dissolved in this mixture of alcohol or phenol and the carboxylic acid is dissolved in ether? So what will happen? Two layers will form. One will be dissolving in ether, which when distilled gives the respective alcohol or the phenol and alcohol, sorry. And then the other layer, the NaOH layer, it will have carboxylate, sodium carboxylate salt, as well as the same carboxylate, the sodium salt of the phenoxide ion, that will be in the water phase. Then this water phase, when it is again treated with dilute HCl and ether, so it gives the respective carboxylic acid and the phenol. Then again, how to separate both of them? So again, they are dissolved in ether and in presence of sodium bicarbonate. So what will happen? Two layers will form. One will be the ether layer, one will be the aqueous layer. So the organic or the ether layer contains the phenolic compound, which on distillation gives phenol, and then the aqueous layer, it will have the sodium salt of carboxylic acid, which when dissolved in dilute HCl, it will give the respective carboxylic acid, which when distilled gives pure carboxylic acid. So sodium carbonate, bicarbonate, sodium hydroxide and carbonate can be used to separate a mixture of alcohol, phenol and carboxylic acids. Now let us see, so basically all the reactions, they involve basically two, three kind of, the theory is that because carboxylic acid is COOH, so there might be cleavage of either the OH bond or the CO and OH. So when there is hydroxyl group as a whole which is getting replaced, so the OH group of the acid can be replaced by the alkoxy group or the chloride or amine group to give the respective ester, acid, chloride, amides and anhydrides respectively. So first we see the reaction with alcohol, that is the formation of ester. It is a very important reaction. It is called as esterification, and it is actually reversible in nature. So what happens is that when acid, it reacts with alcohol, the product is an ester. Now, if we see the mechanism, so it starts with the, it is an acid catalyzed reaction. So H plus from the mineral acid or HCl or HBr, whatever, it protonates the carbonyl oxygen. So what happens is that the carbon becomes positive and undergoes nucleophilic attack by the alcohol molecule. Finally, ester is obtained as shown in the figure. So you can see. So to summarize, esterification involves the cleavage of the OH bond of the alcohol and the COH bond of the carboxylic acid. So you see the OH bond is getting replaced from the carboxylate and ester is formed. Second reaction is when reaction with PCl5 or PCl3 or SaCl2. So the product is always an acid chloride. Acid chloride means RCOCl. Among all these reagents, thionyl chloride SOCl2 it is preferred. Why? Because the side products, sulfur dioxide and HCl, are gaseous and easy to escape. So we do not need to carry out any kind of fractional distillation to extract the main product. Well, let us see the mechanism. It involves the nucleophilic attack of the carboxylic acid on the phosphorus atom of the phosphorus halide or the sulfur atom of the thionyl chloride. Like this. Next, see formation of acyl chloride again. So acyl chloride, they are the most reactive amongst the carboxylic acid derivatives, and they can be prepared by the use of SOCl2, PCl3, PCl5 in good yields. So what happens is when RCOOH reacts with SOCl2, the product is always SO2 and RCOCl. Then this similarly with PCl3, again RCOCl is formed and phosphorus acid is formed. H3PO3 is phosphorus acid. And then with PCl5, the product is PuCl3 and acid chloride is formed. Now, the acyl chlorides can be used to prepare aldehydes, ketones, esters, amides, and acid anhydride in organic synthesis. And they're extremely sensitive to moisture, therefore, it must be stored in anhydrous condition. Why? Because they hydrolyze rapidly to form the carboxylic acids, as shown over here. Third, let's see formation of amides. So, this is what the reaction with ammonia. So ammonia reacts with the acid, the carboxylic acid, to form ammonium salt, which on heating liberate a water molecule and product is an amide. Like benzoic acid, it reacts with ammonia to form ammonium benzoate, which on heating is benzamide. So the dry salts, whichever the salt, intermediate salt is obtained, it is heated to dehydrate to give amide. The better way to prepare amide is reacting ammonia or amines with acyl chloride. Next is the formation of acid anhydride. So what happens is that when the vapor of a carboxylic acid, it is passed over P2O5. P2O5 is a dehydrating agent. So what happens is that it releases 1 mole of water, and from the 2 moles of the acid, resulting in the formation of acid anhydrades. So let us see the mechanism. So what happens is that first there is release of H plus and a carboxylate ion is formed, and then further it reacts with H plus, and finally NH2, two such molecules react together and releasing an H2O molecule, and the product is an acid anhydride. And also there is another way of preparing the anhydride by treating the acid with an acid chloride in the presence of pyridine. So what will happen? It will remove the HCl from the mixture. Mechanism is given at the bottom. Next is the formation of acid anhydride. Now, acid anhydride can be prepared by reacting acyl chloride with carboxylic acid in the presence of pyridine. This can be used to prepare mixed anhydride or simple anhydride. Now, acyl chloride, they react with sodium salt of carboxylic acid to give acid anhydride. This way. Then next is the formation of esters. So esters, how are they formed? Carboxylic acid, I had just told it in the beginning. They react with alcohol to form esters through condensation process. The same is repeated over here. Esterification, the process is called as esterification, and like we saw before, it is an acid catalyzed reaction and a reversible reaction. Next is reduction. So reduction is LiAlH4. It is a powerful reducing agent, we know that, and it reduces the carboxylic to straight away to primary alcohols in good yields. And one example is shown over here. Now there is another example to complete this equation. So the reaction, the answers is given in the next slide. You can go through it. This is for your practice problem. Next we see reactions which involve carbonyl group reduction of the carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid, they undergo reduction in the presence of La to give alcohol, like we just saw. Now this reduction will also be brought about by first converting the carboxy compound into an ester followed by its reduction, and this reaction is named under Bouvier-Blanc reaction. Let us see the mechanism. What happens is that LiAlH4 dissociates from Li plus and AlH4 minus, and then the carboxylic acid is then first initially reduced to the aldehyde. Then this aldehyde further reduces to primary alcohol as shown in the equation, and further subsequent formation of aluminium hydroxide. And the reduction of the carboxylic acid will also be brought about by first converting them to esters, which are subsequently reduced to alcohol. So when this reaction is conducted with an intermediate of esterification, with a step involving esterification, the reaction is called as Bouvier-Blanc reaction. And the carboxylic acid on reduction with HI and red phosphorus, they give alkenes also. Then next is the reduction to carboxyl group. So reactions due to carboxyl. So COOH there is a carboxyl group, COO group also. So now we will see reaction which involves the COO group. That means the OH bond is breaking down. Breaking down. So first is the decarboxylation of the carboxylic acid. So decarboxylation means carboxylic acid gets decomposed if it is heated in the presence of soda lime, that is NaOH, and the reaction takes place in two ways. So the CO2 group is getting removed, and how it is being removed? So in the first step, sodium acetate is formed, and then in the second step, sodium carbonate is formed, and alkane is obtained. Now, carboxylic acid which contain electron withdrawing group, for example, NO2 group or CH3CO group, they get decarboxylated by heating only. They don't need to react with NaOH. The mechanism is shown at the bottom. So it involves the loss of a molecule of CO2 from the carboxylate anion as follows. Next, we see a very important reaction involving decarboxylation, that is Kolbe's electrolytic reduction. So what happens is that it was given by Adolf Kolbe. Who's Adolf Kolbe? He was a German chemist who was a seminal contributor in the birth of modern organic chemistry. And a brief introduction about Adolf Kolbe is giving at the right. You can go through it. So Kolbe, what he did, he said that if an electric, he tried this experiment, that if an electric current is passed through an aqueous solution of alkali salt of a carboxylic acid, then we obtain the respective hydrocarbon. So what happens is that RCOO and it breaks as RCOO minus and Na plus. So Na plus electrolysis, it gets reduced, and with the reaction with H2O, it forms NaOH and release of hydrogen gas. This reaction occurs at the cathode end. At the anode side, RCOO minus, it releases 2 electrons, and eventually it gives a hydrocarbon with release of a molecule of carbon dioxide. This reaction occurs at the anode. So if we take sodium acetate as the salt, hydrocarbon produced will be what? Ethane. Then next is the Hunsteker reaction. So in this reaction, silver salt of carboxylic acid, CH3COO or RCOOAg, it reacts with bromine in the presence of CCl4. And the product is an alkyl bromide and AgBr. This reaction is named under Hunsteker reaction. Now let us see the mechanism. So the mechanism, it involves the initial attack of the electrophile Br plus on the carboxylate. And so there is an AgBr molecule which is released initially only. Then another Br minus, it reacts and it forms a radical. And then later on this radical further breaks down to release carbon dioxide and a alkyl radical. And then this alkyl radical then combines with a bromide and gives alkyl bromide. Next, we see the distillation of calcium salts. So calcium salt of carboxylic acid, they when distilled, they form aldehydes and respective aldehydes and ketones. The reaction is shown at the bottom. So calcium formate, when reacts with calcium acetate, it gives acetaldehyde, 2 moles of acetaldehyde. When calcium formate alone reacts, it gives formaldehyde. And when calcium acetate distills, it gives acetone. Next is the halogenation of the carboxylic acid. So this is a very important reaction under the name Hale-Bullard-Zelinsky reaction. It is abbreviated as HBZ reaction. So what happens is that in this reaction, small amount of red phosphorus is required, and alpha hydrogen of the alkyl group are replaced by the chlorine. So there is an acid, alkyl acid, carboxylic acid, and it reacts with bromine in presence of red phosphorus, and it forms alpha bromobutyric acid, for example. And then further, another hydrogen atom is replaced by another bromine atom, and it gives dibromo acid. So halogen substitution, it will take place as long as the alpha hydrogen atoms are available. So more the number of alpha hydrogens, more the reaction will go forward. Now this bromination cannot be carried out beyond alpha position, whereas chlorination beyond alpha position is possible provided that all the alpha hydrogens have been replaced by fluorine. If we see the mechanism, so in the first step, red phosphorus reacts with halogen molecule to form phosphorus trihalide. Then this reacts with the respective acid, carboxylic acid, to form acid halide. And in the third step, again NHX molecule is produced, and finally we get a halogen substituted carboxylic acid in the last step. The CX bond in alpha halo acid is highly reactive, and it can be cleaved very easily, and the halogen atom gets replaced by a number of nucleophiles, leading to a variety of products. So we see with aqueous NaOH, this reacts to form respective alpha hydroxy acetic acid. With alcoholic ammonia, it gives alpha amino acetic acid. With alcoholic KCN, it gives cyanoacetic acid, which further on hydrolysis gives malonic acid. Okay, next we see the reaction of the benzene ring. So aromatic acids, they give the usual replacement reaction of the benzene ring. That is halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, etc. And this mechanism is electrophilic in nature. Why? Because the carboxylic acid, it shows conjugation, and as a result, ortho and para position get positively charged, so the nucleophile can attack over here. Now, the meta position is comparatively the center of high electron density. Why? Because both the ortho and para have less electron density. So what happens is that the diacylation takes place at the meta position in the ring. Now, since the ring has been deactivated due to the electron withdrawing nature of the carboxylic group, so the diacylation in benzene takes place with difficulty. So nitration, sulfonation, and halogenation is shown in the figure below. So for nitration, we use nitrating mixture, that is HNO3, H2SO4. For sulfonation, we use H2SO4, which gives the reactive species as SO3. And then for chlorination, we use chlorine in presence of ferric chloride. Okay, I think students, we should stop here. This part we will do later on in the second part. Thank you.